parties. I like parties.
Who knew tamales took so long to make?
I remember a little birdie told us that it was a tradition that they like to do once a year, and they dread it.
Yeah.
So now I understand why.
It is a lot of work.
I did enjoy them
They were,
immensely.
Everything was great.
They were fantastic tamales. We might have started late, but you know what? It's okay. We got to hang out. It was wonderful.
It was a good time.
It's a good time.
And now we're paying for it.
A little bit of pain, pain, which sounds Spanish. Pain.
Is that the spice that you were? No, that's tahine.
Tahine. Yeah, tahine is all right. I don't know. Did I take that back? Did we bring that back home? Did we leave it here?
You did leave it.
Jesus.
I mean, it was a party.
It was a party. Hey, folks.
Howdy. Woo.
All right, folks. This is our Q, the podcast, episode 5. This is one of my... Well, what we were going to talk about today is one of my favorite episodes and series, which is the Halloween episode. First year of doing that.
We had to do a Halloween special.
Yep.
We just jumped right into it.
Of course, we have done 4 up to this point. Each one of them growing exponentially weirder, or at least all of them have kind of dealt with, well, maybe not this one, but all of them have sort of dealt with a supernatural element.
Yeah.
And then I remember in this first one, the one that we're going to talk about today, we didn't really have a movie that we were making fun of. It wasn't like a traditional, like, oh, we'll do like a Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw. We weren't doing that.
Yeah, it's like, I think we got inspiration from, TV sitcoms used to do Halloween specials or holiday specials all the time. Simpsons is a big one that still does the Treehouse of Horror. So it's kind of like one of those one-offs where whatever happens in that episode doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the show.
Yeah, whatever happens there stays there.
Yeah.
But, it was an episode where still, we were learning the ropes. And we were trying things out. We thought, would it be interesting? I think wasn't it Sarah that brought up, that Notting Hill as a movie title, the Hugh Grant movie was just such a bizarre title. And that is like, it sounded like a horror movie title.
I don't remember this, no.
I seem to recall you brought it up to me and you were kind of like, oh yeah, it's kind of a weird title for a romantic comedy. And I had never seen the movie.
Never seen it either.
But I knew of the movie, and I thought, well, it'd be kind of funny if we made, as we were talking about with previous episodes, Big, we make a sequel to Big with Big Trouble, etc. Back to the Future. Back to the Future is kind of like an amalgamation of like a bunch of different things, but I don't think we were taking that very seriously. Like, what if Harry Potter showed up and silly things? But with this Notting Hill, it was, what if the original was the romantic comedy and then the sequel was just a completely different genre? And that was an interesting idea, and it was kind of fun to mess around with that.
That was the entire thing.
Yeah.
That was the only part of the video where we were talking about a film. The rest of it was character development.
It really was. It's exposition.
It's exposition.
That's what it was. We were building a world that this was the first episode, and we had talked about this before.
It's the first time hearing
First
this.
time? Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking
First
about.
time, long
sir.
time. This is not even a call-in show.
This was obviously we were working in like the background graphic that we had was the boardroom, typical, boardroom, and now we showed the offices outside and
first ever establishing shot that we used of the building, which was a building next to where we worked. I just went out on my lunch break and took a photo of it, and then we just slapped the logo on the building.
Just a silly and I think I used paint.
It looks great. We used it forever.
Yeah, we had used that quite a bit. But that was the building that we were saying, like, yeah, this is where we are. Our buildings have changed numerous times. It's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where Larry's house
every
changes.
year he gets a new office or a new house.
Yeah, exactly. But for this it was also playing with more sound effects. There was the sound of the office party. That was where I had those stock photos and, just like sounds of people mingling, and then shooting outside of the normal, two, back sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Essentially. How did we come up with the idea of, being like, let's move the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pick it up, put it on a tripod, and shoot someone coming through the doorway. You turning on the light, which still cracked me up a lot.
Yeah, it's we get right into it. You see the opening, the stock footage, and then it's like me opening the door and flipping this light switch in a very strange way, which happened to make you laugh. So I kept doing it, and it ended up.
It was a bizarre thing.
I don't even know why I was doing it. I think again, one of those things is like I had no confidence in my acting ability, so I was like, let me just be as ridiculous as possible. And yeah, we're both wearing costumes.
Right.
So it opens with that joke. I call you Bono.
Well, yeah.
You did have a Bono look going.
I had I had just gotten my hair cut in that whatever kind of prohibition era.
Cut, yeah.
And I thought, well, I have these shooting range glasses.
The yellow tints.
Yeah, and so I thought, well, maybe I could just, put those on, put on a leather jacket and a whatever, and just be like, yeah, this is my character. I do not dress up. I do not enjoy dressing up. I don't like doing that, but I thought maybe this would be kind of funny. And then you found that wig.
It's right over there. I was gonna put it on. Yeah, I didn't have a costume. Never wanted to really dress up.
Yeah.
Except in second grade when I dressed as a Saudi. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Yeah, so I just went through my then girlfriend's, now wife's closet and picked out some of her clothes and found the blonde wig and threw on these big sunglasses. Kind of made me look like a cross between Kurt Cobain and who was the artist?
Oh, yeah, Andy Warhol.
So it was a cross between an Andy Warhol, Kurt Cobain look.
Right.
But
wearing your horizontal stripes.
Yes, blue and white. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. Not a good look. It really brings out that gut.
Yeah.
So not much to be said about our outfits. A couple of jokes at our own expenses, but that's about it.
A couple of jokes. It was I would say in the spirit of Halloween and just like putting something else on that was different. I mean, this was the whole thing. It's like we were being different.
Mm-hmm.
We were dressing up in these sillier, goofier costumes. We were in the boiler room or something like that.
I think the setup was we were at the office Halloween party.
Yeah.
And we were both trying to go like basically hide because many of the attendees or guests at this party were famous people that we had been making fun of on our show. Right. So our characters really didn't want to be confronted by these people we'd been making fun of. So you disappear first. I wasn't going to find you. I was also, I guess, going to hide or something. And then accidentally stumble upon you in the boiler room, working on a script for Notting Hill, which then I learn about and get very upset about.
Right. Part of that growing competition that we had with each other, that was, it started off, in the previous episode in Princess Bride, that was when everything seemed to be going your way, and I was like, not really knowing how things are going. Bosses didn't seem to be, telling me everything. You were, the high flyer, the voice.
Was the Maverick.
All of that.
You were Iceman.
Yeah. More Goose. Iceman is still cool. Goose is kind of, I don't know.
Well,
I could drop that. I have no idea. So I was what? I was Iceman?
You're Iceman. All
right.
So we go through. It's very short. It's under 6 minutes.
I think it's our shortest episode at this point.
Mm-hmm. We get to it real quick. We identify the problem. We decide to work together. Mm-hmm. We come up with this. Again, we do our pitch. We're like hitting all the things at this point. We're doing everything that we've been developing over previous episodes, and then get to the part where we need to find a director.
Right.
And then our lives changed forever.
And who's there? Who's ready to direct? But the one and only
William Redkin, the man, the myth, the legend, the chaunster.
Yeah. Chantarello, hey, it's what you call me.
Can't say enough good things about him. You know, he's a big part of our show in the future, but this was his first appearance. He shows up for like 5 seconds at the end.
Well, I was wondering, like, he obviously had the big phone call. That phone call, very interesting. Let's talk about that phone call. This was one where we decided it would be best if he literally, we called live. Well, he's like, well, what should I say? I was like, well, just talk about these things. Talk about and then we'll respond in some sort of form.
That's exactly. I was thinking the same thing. We had never worked with William Redkin before, with the actor.
We had not.
But we knew just, obviously he was a friend first. So we just knew like he's such a unique person and he's hilarious in real life. So we're like, this will just be like so easy. Like a smooth transition into acting. But
sure.
Look, not to say like we knew what we were doing, but he really is like, what am I doing? Like literally, like what's my motivation? We're like, we don't know. Just be funny. Go in that closet, be funny.
Right.
So we put a little undue pressure on him, I think, but we didn't know what we wanted. We're like, just be yourself, be funny.
Yeah.
You're gonna call us. You're gonna say the things you say, and we're gonna laugh, and then people will love it. But, I mean, it turned out great. But it was, I remember we put him in the closet in my guest room while you and I were shooting in the office.
Which, when I think about it, has absolutely, there's no reason to put him in the closet. I think we were worried that we would hear him.
That he's very loud, but also I wanted it in a dead space. I didn't want like just echoey. Yeah, so I put him in front of a wall of clothing. I was like, this will at least kill the echo a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was just to put him in the closet to see if he would actually do it.
We need you to be in the closet for this.
Yeah.
And also we need you to jump on one foot.
No matter what, do not come out of the closet, Mark. That's what we said. No matter what happens, you stay in this closet.
Having him with that conversation, his list of demands.
Oh, he demands red screen, which is a lot of nice callbacks to earlier episodes.
Yeah, big.
Because, spoiler alert, William Redkin invented red screen technology, which apparently doesn't work according to my character. So that's kind of where I drew the line. I was like, no, Chauncey, red screen doesn't work. It doesn't work.
God damn it.
Yeah, we got into a big argument about the red screen. That's where he took it too far with that.
But he's also very angry with you.
He was angry with me. I don't know where that tension came from. I literally said, Chauncey and I aren't talking right now, and you're like, I'll take care of it. And he was very happy to hear from your character, not so happy to hear from mine.
No. He was upset. You're like, okay, it's all wrapped up. We're all ready to go. We're going to make this episode. And do you hear that? And then, voila, he just shows up. But,
through the magic of editing.
He
materialized right before our eyes and then said, here's Chauncey. He had a tough time with that name.
Yeah.
And I think we did several takes, and he just kept saying Chauncey instead of Chauncey. So we're like, F it. Let's just keep it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Nobody gets it.
No.
It was literally just he couldn't say Chauncey.
No, it was fine. It was fine. But that was the episode. It was a fun episode to make. Lots of
drinking.
Good.
I was going to say, this is probably our heaviest drinking show up to this point, at least for me. I'd gone through 2 bottles of champagne by the time we started filming. And I think you can kind of see the parts where I'm like, he's a little loosey-goosey over there. But yeah, no, I was, again, not drunk. I was pretty buzzed, but I was having a good time. I think we filmed that on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. You guys came over early. Sarah helped, us with costumes and stuff. So I was also, maybe the first time that we had like people help us. So it was, we were really starting to get that vibe, like, oh, this is fun, and everyone's kind of involved and getting into it. So it wasn't just us two anymore.
Right.
I think that was a very important kind of shift for our trajectory. And like, once more and more people started getting involved, it just like, it felt more real,
We were making it a goal to release something every week.
Oh yeah.
We were trying to get it like every Wednesday. That first full year, it was about 52 videos that we released.
Jeez.
And while that may not seem like a lot to some
Right,
YouTubers,
that's a lot.
We're editing, we're crafting these things. The Halloween episode was one in which I remember staying up very late and trying to edit and just put these
just to get it on time.
Just to get it on time. It's like, this is not going to work if I release it on November 1st. I look at the outtakes on that video as being particularly good. And I think because we were all just having a really good time.
There's a lot of cracking up going on for sure.
A lot.
Do you ever flip a light switch?
Yes.
Like,
that's how I always do it.
I've done 1,000,001 things lately.
I'm sorry I laughed. I was laughing at something else off screen. I mean,
Off camera.
God damn it. You slept with my brother. What?
Oh. I'm sorry. Oh. Sorry. There you go. I'm fine.
I wonder what it could be.
I don't know. It's not the one.
Bro, I have to do
And
that again.
A lot of jokes that, you know, for all intents and purposes, it's a relatively clean show. But, you know, we would say things from here and there that are just kind of like, we shouldn't put that in
Just
there.
to make ourselves laugh, knowing that it was not going to end up in the final cut.
Although I did put it in a cut, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And you're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't say
I don't even remember.
that. It had something to do with...
Oh, that's right. Oh, man. Oh, God.
And I'd probably take it out of this one, too.
Oh, porn. I think you maybe in the outtakes when I'm like, you slept with my brother. Or is that in the actual video?
No, it's in the outtakes.
That's in the outtakes. So my character has a brother.
Right.
Who's never referenced again. Oh, that would be funny. Maybe I should meet my brother in a future episode.
You could. His name could be Dara.
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 And he just happens to look exactly like me. Oh, you guys are twins. No.
Not
We're actually 7 years apart.
I mean, you know, it's a thing.
Well, we do have the same parents. They saw me and they're like, we want another one just like that. So here we are.
Get to work.
Ara, Dara.
7 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the Halloween episode. Is there anything else that we forgot to talk about?
Oh, we talked about way too much, I would say.
You think so?
No, it was great. We say this every time, but it was kind of a turning point for the show.
Yeah.
We would go on to do many different specials, both Halloween and Christmas, New Year's related. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was just a way for us to kind of let loose and not worry so much about plot and structure.
Yeah.
Not that we did before, but it was supposed to be fun and easy, but it, like anything else, it just turned into work, of course. Just trying to get these things done on time and
Yeah.
but
overall, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to
absolutely.
make it. It's probably why I just kind of look forward to making them each year after that. I mean, we did recently do one again.
Yeah, and you're right. Every time we do it, we just like step it up. Like they're turning into these short films, like short Halloween films, basically at this point, like the Psycho one and
Yeah. Maria.
the latest one.
Yeah. See, those are fun. Mm-hmm. And we did the one with The Shining. I think that was the last one that was. Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Sure.
Well, all right, Ara. Well, that was a lot of fun talking about that Halloween episode.
Yeah, buddy.
It was pretty fun to make.
Thanks for showing up.
Absolutely.
Fighting through that
Hangover.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, folks. This was episode 5 of the RQ podcast, talking about the Halloween episode. It was a lot of fun to make. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Both the video and the outtakes.
Outtakes are great.
And we will see you when we see you.
Thank you.
Stay classy.
Oh, yeah.